What's up, people? Welcome back to the Shit Talk Podcast, episode 3. I'm your host, Prince Dayan, with your co-host, Espiritu Santi.
What up?
Now let's talk some shit.
Oh yeah, that good stuff. So
Yes,
first of
sir.
all, before we even jump into anything, I'm just looking at my cup right now, and I realized that did someone take a picture of me?
For those of you
Actually,
that can't see, he's got a
yeah,
Flanagan's cup in his hand.
I got a Flanagan's cup. So if you want to see this picture, just go to Flanagan, go to YouTube.com, check it out because this really does look like me. But anyways, Flanagan's cup. I look like what's his name, Mike Flanagan?
I think it isn't it Jimmy Flanagan? Or
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've
It's
seen all
something
their names.
Flanagan. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, you go there enough, so might as well.
I'm there all the time.
The ribs
Yeah,
the wings
they
too.
are.
Rib rolls.
Do you get them like plain or do you get them with some type of sauce?
Depends how I'm feeling. But mostly I like to get them, with barbecue sauce. I don't mess with that mild stuff. Shit kills my stomach.
So I used to get them barbecue. And then I went to the other side and said, you know what, let me get them dry. And let me add the
Administer the sauce yourself. Yeah. It's
yeah, because sometimes they just come out like so saucy.
too much. Yeah, it's like a sauce soup.
And then your fingers end up looking like a 3-year-old.
It's like a barbecue clam chowder.
Yes, barbecue clam chowder. I don't know what the hell that is, but whatever.
Whatever. It sounded good in my head. Anyways.
Yeah, barbecue clam chowder. It sounds disgusting, actually.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, whatever. All right. So last week we talked about Bitcoin. We talked about the economy. Pretty serious conversation. I've been receiving great feedback from our listeners. By the way, thank you all for listening to our podcast. This is now episode 3. And today's focus is going to be on a term or a word that I've never heard before. Prince D, I don't think you've ever heard of it either.
No
Called
way.
Mansplaining. Okay. And I'll tell you how, I even came up, or heard about this word a little later. But again, just been hearing great feedback on from our listeners saying, that they really enjoyed the podcast. Good flow. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. We need that feedback. Again, this is only episode 3 and we're learning. So we want to make sure that we keep it fun, engaged, light, nothing too crazy, but keep you coming back to listen to more of our episodes. But again, Bitcoin was the big topic. And, I have a couple of friends that told me, they were like, hey, as soon as I got done listening to your episode, I went and I started researching what Bitcoin was. Great. Do it. Research it. Understand what Bitcoin is. I'm still confused about what it is or how it's valued or whatever, but
Absolutely.
I got hashtag FOMO and, I got to throw
some?
in yeah, I bought some, of course.
Nice. Can I see it? Oh, wait, that's right. You can't see it.
You can't really see it. You can see the account, but you can't really see the Bitcoin or the token or the blockchain or all those other technical terms that you want to call them. But, don't be scared. I go by, I'm only investing as much as I'm willing to lose, right? So that everyone's different, obviously we're not financial advisors. We're not professionals in that field
At all.
But I think it's good. And thank you all for the feedback again on my side. Prince D, I don't know if you want to share anything on that.
Yeah. I mean, you said it best, guys. Obviously, thank you so much for, tuning in, for listening, for letting us know what you think. This podcast is called Shit Talk, but at the same time, we can, teach you something and, help you in some aspect of your life. Then, hey, that's perfect as well. So keep the feedback coming. We love it. Like you said, all I heard was positive stuff about, BTC and everything we spoke about. So that's good. That's just, that's a goal accomplished in my book.
Awesome. Beautiful. So again, episode 3 starts right now, and specifically with mansplaining. So I looked this up, dictionary.com, just in case, none of you think I plagiarized or anything like that and shut down our episodes, but or dictionary.com come back to us and be like, yo, you didn't, give us a kudos on your podcast. But
fact check this and stuff.
Straight from dictionary.com, the definition of mansplaining is the explanation of something by a man, typically to a woman, in a manner regarded as condescending or patronizing.
Ooh,
that's heavy duty, right?
Stuff. Yeah,
that's heavy duty. So, what do you think? Have you ever heard of mansplaining?
I've heard of manscaping, but not mansplaining.
Oh no! Let's okay.
Uh,
Let's
yeah,
go to manscaping.
yeah,
Uh,
no idea what that means.
I'm
To be
gonna
honest with
make sure to have to check off all the explicit and over 18, all that stuff when we start
you. But what do you mean?
publishing.
Isn't manscaping just like grooming yourself, like
Yeah,
your
no, but
beard and
that's
stuff?
like everybody. I think if I say manscaping, people are talking about
Oh, okay,
the
I get it.
private areas.
I get it. I get
I
it.
don't manscape my beard. Um, whatever. Anyway, so I think of mansplaining. I never heard of that, and you've never heard of it,
Either.
right?
No.
I'll tell you how it came up. So, well, we talked about it. The larger amount of our listeners, shockingly, is more female than what it is male.
Let's go. All
So I
right.
was like, "What is going on? The females actually want to listen to this shit? Like, I don't
For
understand."
real. Like, where are you the rest of like my life? But anyways, move on.
Well, at least you have some females that want to listen to you. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
that's a good point.
Yeah. Or maybe they want to listen to me, but I don't know.
That's
I don't
also a
know
good
who's
point
I
too.
don't I don't know who's more
Let me have my
interested.
moment. All right, move on.
Okay. So, anyways, when we look at the analytics and everything on the sites and everything, yeah, it was very odd that we had more female listeners than male listeners. So we were like, all right, well, let's, what are we going to do with our next episodes, because we can't just always talk about guy stuff. So I presented this idea to my girlfriend, and I'm like, well, do you think it would be interesting if we named it, what was the name? What did I name that? It was a man's perspective of a woman's perspective.
Yeah, something like that. Something confusing.
Something like that, right? So the idea or the concept behind it was just like, what is it that men think women are thinking, right? Well, when I shared that idea, I almost got a bat to the head, right? It was like, you're going to be, what is it? The word judging or don't tell me what I'm thinking, and it was just went crazy. It was like, oh, this is very controversial, and don't tell me what I'm thinking. So, anyways, turns out that the title, I guess, didn't work, right? But then this word came up. They're like, that's like if you're mansplaining, and I'm like, what the heck is a mansplaining? You've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. We're how many years apart? You're how old? 22?
27, bro. You're like
I'm
what?
44. I'm 40. So we're like 10 years apart. And I would think, all right, well, maybe that's a new word, because growing up, I never heard what the hell mansplaining was. And so
No,
maybe you know what it is, but none of us do. Um, Maybe it's just like a northeast, maybe states. I don't know.
I don't know, bro. So maybe one of those Twitter things, like terms
I don't
people
know.
come
I
up with.
really don't know. I would so here, for the listeners, if you know what mansplaining is, when you're, feel free to comment on our YouTube channel, or send us over something saying yes, I've heard of it. I just want to see how many people have actually heard the word mansplaining, because I know I haven't. But anyways, so yeah, the conversation didn't go too well, but I sold the idea of talking about relationships.
There we go.
So I think, it would be nice. And what the feedback I received was, well, I want to know. And from my bird's moving. You saw that? It's weird. Speedy the Sunday.
There you go.
So I guess the idea was that women want to know what it is that men think when they're in a relationship. And that sparked curiosity. And I don't know about you, but I think it's funny because each one of us wants to know what the other is thinking.
Yep.
So what do you think?
I mean, I think that's true, 100%. I think that's kind of the basis of a relationship. A lot of times, you're always thinking, "What are they thinking?" If I say this, what are they thinking? I know they're telling me this, but what are they thinking?
So let's break it down. Let's break it down. Even before, technically, we're living with each other, right? Let's just say you're on your first date.
Right.
When you prep for that first date, what are you thinking before you go on the date?
Man. Oh man. So many things. I'm like, what am I gonna wear? Am I gonna shave? I probably should shave. Because Gotta make sure I smell good, make a good impression. But I don't know. I think maybe this is part of getting older. But lately, I just really don't care. I'm just like, just be myself. She likes me. She likes me. If she doesn't, she doesn't. Move on.
So if you normally don't shower, you're not gonna
mean,
shower. Who cares?
And I always do. I mean, besides those parts.
Okay,
I mean,
but
like,
let's say
there's not really any prep
don't
outside
shower.
of, but I do.
Okay, but I'm saying, let's say that you don't shower, and you just say, well, you know, she likes me. She likes me. So if I'm stinky and she likes me, then I'll stay stinky forever.
Then either she likes stinky people or she's a keeper. One of the two. I don't know.
What do you mean she's
I don't know
a
what to
keeper?
tell you.
Because then that means she's stinky.
Or maybe she just sees past, your stink.
That could be true too. But again, who knows? You know, I don't want to think for them.
Exactly.
You know, I'm asking, we're talking. Okay. So again, I can't think for, the date or my girlfriend or, whoever it is. But we got to just think, right? What are they thinking? I don't think of anything. I actually just get dressed because I know that I can't go naked to a date.
Does it?
And because I'll get arrested. And then I sit there and I think, okay, well, what am I going to eat? That's what I think. Actually, when if I go on a date, which I haven't been on a date in a long time.
And that's the funny part. Because I feel like, and again, just speaking from my own experience, obviously you're on a date and you're thinking, well, okay, is this person cool? Are they great? Is this going to work out? But half of the time, men, or at least me personally, I'm thinking, damn, what am I going to eat?
I'm always thinking that.
What should I order? Do I really want to go and order 2 appetizers and an entree and then look like a fat ass? Or do I want to go light and have a salad? Because you never know.
Hell no. You're never going to light. Sorry. I'm too old for that. I guess maybe in the next 10 years, you'll realize that who gives a shit what you're going to eat because she's going to judge you anyways.
That's a good point.
I've sat.
But some people worry about this stuff.
Yeah, of course they do. I don't, but I'm sure people do. So let's go to the next part. So, all right. So you prepped up for the date. Now you're there. Okay, actually, do you worry about, well, I got to do this right. I got to go pick her up. I got to go get her some flowers or whatever.
Nah, chill with the flowers. I mean, it depends.
No flowers on the first date.
On the first date? That's too much. Can't set the bar too high.
All right, so let's talk about this bar.
This hypothetical bar.
This is hypothetical bar. How high is this bar?
Look, so here's the funny part. You mentioned bar and expectations. That's the key word here. Did you know that 56% of women actually say that it's hard to find someone that meets their expectations?
Well, yeah, because their expectations are high as hell.
They're high as is. So you show up on a first date with flowers.
Wait, did we just speak for women?
No, these are internet statistics. I didn't make this up. I'm not saying it.
Okay, so this is like a study.
I'm just repeating. This is a study.
What was the website? Because they're gonna go back.
It's from the Pew PEW Research Center, PewSocialTrends.org. They analyze social trends. This was a study done in August of 2020.
Okay, so it's
pretty recent.
It's not us. I don't think about all that stuff. Those researchers, they had enough time to search all this stuff up. So whatever, that's on them.
Exactly.
So ladies, don't. It's not us. Okay,
no, we're not saying it.
I'm not getting in trouble with anybody. First one I'll get in trouble with is my girlfriend. I'm surprised she's not like listening in a corner over there, trying to see what I say to throw something at me. But all right. So now at this point, we already thought about, okay, getting dressed, going here, pick her up, not pick her up, setting that expectation, right? So I wonder, what do women actually expect on that first date?
That's a very good question. I agree.
So you know what? The women out there, the ladies out there listening to this podcast, please share with us.
Yeah, tell us for real.
Tell us what it is that you expect on this first date. This is great conversation. I think this would be, everyone's thinking, oh, this is going to be some controversial and argumentative, discussion. No, it's not. It's a learning experience.
Exactly.
Right?
We're actually giving you the secrets because women always want to say that, well, men don't understand me or he doesn't know what I'm thinking. Okay, beautiful. So tell us
what you're thinking.
Tell us what you expect.
Because it's not that difficult. We're not that difficult. We're not that complicated. Here's what we're thinking. What are we going to eat?
Yes, exactly.
Unfortunately, we just think about getting laid. A lot.
We're literally like cavemen. We're like, see this, do this, eat
That's
this,
it.
move on.
Leave me alone. Let me play my golf. When is the next sex session? And TV. Done. Done.
That's true.
That's it. We don't worry about, actually, I'm not even gonna say that because I do worry about nails. Like I like my girlfriend to go do her nails when she
Oh,
does them.
100%. Absolutely.
I think it's just more about how it makes her feel when she goes to do her nails. Like I feel
Of
like she
course.
gets all excited,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
But anyways, let's go back to the date, right? So now, whatever, we picked her up. We may not have gotten her or him, who knows?
That's true.
Flowers, yeah. And now we're sitting at the table. Now what?
Now you gotta ask questions. You gotta talk to them. You gotta figure out who they are,
Okay, you know
or
what pisses
as
me
best as
off?
you can.
You know what pisses me off? When you want to go and get the chair and pull out the chair for her so she could sit, and the damn hostess does it first.
For real, bro. You could have got mad brownie points there, and they
Isn't
just
that
ruined it for
annoying?
you.
Isn't
Yeah.
that annoying? Because you think, all right, well,
Especially if you didn't get her
open the door.
flowers. Because see, flowers would have been a chance for brownie points. Now you missed out on that one. Now
Exactly.
they pulled the chair out for her, for you, so you couldn't do it. Missed out on brownie points again. So
Yes.
you're already 0 for 2, buddy.
You're done. You're done.
You
The
better be a very
chances,
interesting person to win
or
this back.
or the food better be really good.
Yeah, that's true.
Because here's the thing: girls like to eat too.
Hell yeah.
Girls love to
Absolutely.
eat.
Absolutely. Girls eat nonstop, and some of them don't even gain weight. I'm like, how is this even possible?
It doesn't. It doesn't make. Listen,
doesn't make sense.
I eat a French fry. I gain 37 pounds.
I drink water. I gain weight. I don't understand.
I retain a lot of weight, water actually. I may have to go to the doctor about that because it's just too.
Maybe it's the Flanagans.
It could be the Flanagans. No, but this is just water.
It's
in
the
a Flanagan's cup.
clam chowder that you're eating. You can't keep eating that.
Okay, so I'm gonna admit something. So to this morning, I went to go play basketball, and after basketball, I went to Flanagan's, had 20 wings.
What'd you go play basketball for?
To be able to eat those wings. Okay, so imagine what's worse.
That's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
I know what you're gonna say. What's worse, if I eat the wings without playing basketball or eat them after I play basketball?
Exactly.
Either way, it's bad.
It's exactly. It can't be that terrible. At least I didn't, stuff it with bread and rice and all the other extras. But whatever. Anyways, let's get back to this date.
Let's get back to
the ADD.
Date. Yeah, for real.
So we're at this date. We sit down. The hostess didn't let us take the chair out, so she sits down. Hostess never, takes the chair out for us.
For real,
right?
That's a good point. Up? That's a good point.
That's so messed up.
Unless you're like at one of these really, really fancy restaurants, sometimes they do it.
Yeah, but then two people would have to be walking you to your table. Because I'm too impatient to wait. Let me just stand there and wait for the hostess to come and take out the chair for me. No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that either.
Yeah, no. And I get it, whatever. It's their job, but I'm not just going to, I feel too bougie. I'm not that bougie.
Yep, I agree.
I like expensive things. I'm just not bougie. I don't feel that. All right, so we're sitting there, and what's the first thing you do on a date? As soon as you're ready to go, the menus were placed in front of you. The napkins were put on your over your legs, and you separate your forks and your knives because they're always out of place. And your cup, they're filling it with water. You're looking at the menu. What happens at that point? What's next?
I mean, I don't know. You just start making conversation while you're looking at the menu.
So what do you ask?
Stuff about them. I don't know.
Hey, how's work? Hey, did you buy Bitcoin? Like, what do you ask? Like, hey, what underwear are you wearing?
That's a good. What's a good question? Is what do women like to be asked? What do women wish that men would ask them on a date?
There you go. So that's something that we need to understand as men. We need to understand what is it that women want to talk about. Do they want to if I start a conversation with, hey, Ulta's having a 50% sale. Did you take advantage? Are they going to be like, oh my God, yes, this is the best thing that ever happened to me?
Creeped out.
Or creeped out. Like, what is it that's going to happen? I don't know. I wish, there was a podcast that would talk about these things 100%. And, we can hear back. So now's our opportunity. Let's hear what the women have to say about this. And there's going to be a bunch of stuff. I really hope that this 100%. Blows up. And the all 6 of the females that listen to us actually participate and send us back stuff, because I want to know. I want to know what it is that women think about these things, women's expectations. because mine are very limited. Like they're very minimal. I barely even have expectations. If you walk,
If you have a pulse, if you breathe,
that you're good. You're good. You got a job? Good. Good. You have a job. Um, what about a conversation? Do they got to be smart? Like, hey, let's talk about things that are interesting. Like, let's say space.
yeah,
Girl,
that'd be awesome. Like these existential, hypothetical conversations about things that have substance and depth. That's amazing. I don't want to hear about why you have 7 cats and about how you have to go to work tomorrow and you can't stand Susie from work. And I don't care about that stuff.
I hate cats, by the way.
Yeah, no, I can't stand them
I don't
either.
want to say I hate cats. I don't. That's hate strong word, and I'd love to use it, but I dislike cats. They're fuzzy and furry, and their hairs all over the place. So just the other day, saw one of my buddies, and he's wearing the sweater, black sweater, and I could tell he had a white cat or like a grayish cat or something, because all of the hair of the cat was all over. So I'm like, yo, you got a cat? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, look at your shoulder.
They're horrible.
And the entire shoulder was full of fur. So I'm like, are you serious? Walking around like this? Like this is what you have a cat for? Anyways, back to this date.
Yeah, go back to date.
Let's talk about dates. Let's talk about relationships. Let's keep it on that. Not cats and all that. But all right, so now we start talking, about this conversation, and the date ends. Or it doesn't end. Let's say, you get the all the courses. Now you're at the end and you're ready to pay the bill. Who pays?
Depends.
Depends on what the old people wear. So who pays?
I mean, that depends. As a gentleman, I always pay, but we're in a new age, so not everyone may think that way. A lot of people I hear, a lot of my friends, they say, "Hell nah, I ain't paying that. We go half."
Oh yeah,
Which I think on a first date, I mean, I don't know. It depends. And then again, it just depends what you think the woman wants, how much you care, how much you want to be with her.
okay. So let's talk about that. How much you care. So if I split the bill with my date, does that mean that I care less?
No, but I mean, and again, I'm just talking from experience. Women, you please chime in, send us your comments, what you guys think. But from experience, it can be seen as either A, he's cheap, B, he cares about himself, C, he does not really that into me. Things that I've heard women obviously say. But I mean, I don't know if it's true. Again, because we don't know.
I don't know. I have
At
no
all.
idea. But I'll tell you one thing. I don't think that I have tested it a couple times
Mm-hmm.
where I'm like, all right, well, the bill is there. Let's leave it on that. And I always pay. I really don't care. To me, money
Absolutely. Of course.
is meant to be spent. And if I can spend, $300-400 on a, great dinner or a great outing, I'm spending it. I don't
It's
care about those things.
Of course.
But I do test. Leave the bill there for a little while and see if there's an attempt. If there's an attempt, perfect.
Yeah,
That's that's brownie points for us, right?
Exactly.
Like we think, wow, those are some brownie points.
Consideration.
Exactly, which I think is a big part is consideration, expectation, right? So you expect me to pay your bill every single time, and that's changed a lot, actually, because when I was
100%.
younger, if you're the man and you're taking the girl out on a date and you didn't pay for it, you weren't getting no second date.
100%.
Now I feel like more women are like, no, we're paying half of this. All right, perfect, awesome. So we're in this together.
Beautiful.
Right?
Exactly.
And it works out good. It's more of a partnership, and I think that's a positive thing. But yeah, very few times do I let my girlfriend pay for a dinner. When she does, I let her. Go ahead, pay. You want to pay? All right, awesome. All right, so we talked about that. Now you're taking her back home. You're on the drive. What do you talk about?
Oof.
Or is it over right there? Like the one Uber one way, the other Uber's the other way.
I mean, if the date goes really bad, no, I'm just kidding. I would still take them home. That's messed up. I don't know.
So so the
I'm
day
a
goes bad,
gentleman
you
either
leave them
way.
there.
No, yeah, just
Take an Uber. You ain't
the
right away.
Uber's outside. Yeah.
Here, I'll pay for your
I've
Uber too.
no, I wouldn't do that. I mean, on the drive home, I mean, what do you talk about? You continue to keep talking, depending on what pick up whatever conversation you guys were on before, or talk about dinner and then segue into another conversation. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. At least personally, my goal is just I want to know how you think. So I'm gonna ask you stupid shit, but it's gonna be like things that make you think.
So I haven't been on a date in a long time, and I can't remember the last time that I was in the car after the date. Like I just don't remember those, that scenario.
So you're in a relationship. So when you get in the car after you eat, you're thinking, I can't wait to get home so I
And
can
go to sleep.
Yeah.
Or watch, Homeland season 6, episode 6.
Or go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Or go to yeah. That's usually the case. Is how quick, can I get home? Because you're speeding through.
Yeah. Siri
the
says
streets.
25. I can make it in 15.
I can make it in 15 because if not, I'm shitting myself in the car right now.
Yeah.
That's usually the case. But does that conversation? Imagine that conversation like on our first date.
I mean,
maybe I gotta get home because I gotta take a dump.
Yeah, you calling them baby on the first date?
Baby.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So here's another.
Oh, look at
Do we
you.
call them baby? Do we call them baby or by their name? Or Ms. or blah. Like, what do you call them?
Their name, bro.
By their name.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just asking. I mean, I don't know.
Wait, you wait for them to call you baby first.
Oh, so you actually wait for the female to call you baby first?
Of course, you don't want to
Why?
because you don't want to overstep or seem like you're the one that cares more. You're the desperate one. No way.
Okay.
Making all these cute nicknames on the first date.
All right,
we're not in a relationship.
All right, so now we're talking about like male expectation, right? The you, because my perspective is different.
Of course.
I don't
It's
really
just my
care.
perspective.
Yeah, but I don't really care. Oh, you call me baby? All right, I'll call you baby too. But you never call me baby. I'm never gonna call you baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't said baby in 3 years? Okay. Well, what's your name? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you do.
Oye, tú ven acá. Oye, mujer, ven acá. What do you do? Like, what do you call each other?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
but I feel like, and this is, I think that's kind of the advantage of when you like speaking different languages. I feel like in English, sometimes things don't translate as well over. Like if on a first date and I'm calling someone baby, it's a little like, depending how the date went, obviously, it can be seen as like, you're a little too friendly. We're not there yet. Relax. But now we're in Spanish and it's like a little, amorous term. I'm like, bebé mira, or bebé this and that. It isn't that bad, I think. But that's just my perspective.
You know what? I've actually heard a lot of feedback on that. Like women don't like to be called like little names like that. Like mamacita and mommy, and it's like,
okay, but that's a little actually.
But isn't bebé the same thing?
I guess it depends on the context.
Bebé que tú haces. Bebé ven acá. Mami ven acá.
You have a good point.
Yeah.
It depends on the context.
I don't know. What do you women think?
Yeah, all I know is that I don't know anything. So
our female listeners, please tell us. Do you like the names? Do you not like the names? What do you like? Right?
Yeah. When is it acceptable to use names?
Exactly.
Should we use names? Is there a list of names that you guys approve? If so, please release it. Let us know.
Please publish.
Please post it somewhere.
Please send it to us. We'll share it with all our male followers. And, hopefully they learn their lesson. Because that's another thing that I hear. There's a lot of single people out there. And all you hear them saying is, I can't find the right person. There's the men out there suck. The women out there suck. Apparently everyone out there sucks that's single. So what is it that they're doing wrong?
Bro, it's the same study that I mentioned earlier. 65% of women say that it's almost impossible to find a person who's looking for the same kind of things in a relationship as them, which leads to why they say that it's so hard for them to date.
Yeah. So
65%, that's a big number.
I'm going to tell you a story. So there was one of my Iranian professors, and I say one of them because I had like 5 of them in college. And one of them told me, they were like, when I was young, I would go to the store to buy jeans, and I would walk in, go right to that area, grab my jeans, my size, go pay for them out the door, and I would put on my jeans, and I was happier than pig and shit. All right, perfect. He's like, but now you go into the store and I have to go to 4 different areas to buy the jeans because there's a slim fit, a long fit, a boot fit, a straight fit, a loose
Relax
fit, a
fit.
relaxed fit. There's all these types of fits, and then you pick one and then you run out the door, you put them on, and then you're wondering the whole time, damn, is this the best pick I could have made? Is there a better pick out there? Right? So
FOMO, baby.
yes, and I think that same concept applies to relationships, right?
100%. I agree.
Because there's so many options. Like the
Too
old
many.
saying is, "There's so many fish in a pond," right? Yes, you know what? You're right. There's a million fish in the pond, and I think that because of that, and because people know and understand that, you will never be 100% satisfied,
No way.
and
Impossible.
and that's okay, and
Of
that's
course.
okay. I've yet to meet someone that is 100% satisfied with their spouse. Everything. No, I've heard a million times people say, you know what, I can deal with their bad. And if I can deal with their bad, the good is just, the cherry on top.
Of course.
So now there is no, according to that, there's no perfect relationship, right? And I think, I'm not going to speak for anyone, but I've heard a lot of people say that.
But many people don't realize that. Or they don't
Exactly.
understand that.
So now is that the issue that we're having with all these people saying that they can't find anyone, is that their expectations are so high that they can't find anyone because they
Mhm.
want the person to open the door, pull the chair out, pay for the meal, eat the meal for them, take them back home, pay for their gas on their car. Like, what is the expectation? And vice versa. There's men out there that are bums, and all they want to do is, you know, live off of the hardworking female.
Yep.
Because I've seen that a bunch,
100%.
a bunch. Where the man is actually moving into the girl's house because the girl is the successful one, and the female is, or the male is not working, doesn't
Yeah.
pay anything or support anyone.
Yeah. Good life.
Good life. I don't know about that. That doesn't sound like a good life to me, but um, I don't know. I guess expectation is everything. So, again, to our listeners out there, both male and female, especially the single ones, I want to hear from those single ones. What is the expectation? What is it that's going on with these people that you're dating or meeting that aren't meeting your expectation?
Yeah. Is it your expectations, maybe? Are you being realistic with your expectations? And not just with your expectations, with yourself. Because like you said, if you're a bum, don't expect, the Duchess of England to land in your lap. Like, it's
Oh
out of your
yeah.
league, bro. Ain't gonna happen.
Oh yeah, and I know a bunch of those too, out of their league, right? Where you look at them and they're like, no, I can't go out with a person that looks like that. As have you seen yourself lately?
Like, bro, you look like a crusty walrus. Like, come on.
You're just as crusty as that person you're saying that is
Yeah,
crusty.
for real.
Like, do you have a mirror in your home? You know. All right, so let's talk about comfort. So we talked a little bit about expectation. Let's talk about comfort because this one came up today in another conversation I was having, and we were saying like, when's the first time that you know, pee in front of that person or fart in front of that person or take a shower, you know, um,
Good
or
questions.
poop or talk about poop. Like these are things that are funny, but it's like I
They're
feel
serious
that
questions that
yeah,
trouble people, by the way.
yeah, some people like I've heard some women say, I would never pee or poop
Man, I hate
in
that shit.
front of my boyfriend or husband.
Like
What?
the women that act like they don't fart, like they don't poop. Like, come on.
Okay, so true story. Joshua thought that women didn't poop until he was like 5 years old, and then he heard his mom fart. And he was like, "Women
Got him.
do fart! Oh my god!" And he freaked out. And it was like Santa Claus, not believing in Santa Claus, and then finding out that Santa Claus, doesn't
Real.
exist.
Yep. Like a
Oh
whole different
shit!
world
Now
opening up
we
for him.
really got to make this explicit, and not for
I know, for kids.
yeah. We just ruined it for kids. Kids, Santa Claus does exist.
Yeah, he's alive and well.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, so when do you fart in front of the girl? Because I fart all the time. Actually think I have a problem. When
You
did you fart?
should probably go to the doctor. But Fart? I don't know. I think when you guys are comfortable, I think you can't really fart in front of them until you guys have probably been sleeping together, sleeping over, spending a lot of time together. I mean, the I think the moment you do it just varies. There's really no way to say it, but you just kind of gotta feel the comfort, I guess. I don't know.
So have you
But
ever
you can
been with a
always just
girl?
you can always just let one out and test it and see what she says.
Yeah, but it better not be smelly.
No, of course. It's gonna be one of the loud but not deadly ones.
Yeah. Okay, so have you ever been with a girl and you two slept together, and then in the middle of the night, one went out accidentally that it woke you up,
From her? Does she let one out?
or she let one out, or you yourself you let one out, and you're like, oh shit, did
100%.
he or she hear that? Like, has that ever
100%.
happened?
Of course. You just pretend you're sleeping.
And you keep it
I'm not
moving.
I'm not responsible for what happens in my sleep. So
All right, so I want to hear from our listeners. Have you ever farted by mistake? On maybe that first time that you slept with your significant other, and you slept over, and all of a sudden, you let one loose. Like, did you laugh about it? Did you just say, "All right, well, it happened," or did you not even think about it? And then the person brought it up the next day, like, "Hey, did you fart last night?" Has, has that ever happened? Has that happened to you?
Not really. I mean, I've had people, obviously women fart and then act all like, oh my God. And then it's like,
That's how they
okay.
sounded, though.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. That's my imitation of every woman. So please don't hate me. But anyways,
That's
yeah,
terrible.
and it's just, I'm like, okay, it's not a big deal, bro. It's just a fart.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, not that serious.
Let her blow. Boom.
Just know,
Chernobyl.
just you're noble.
Chernobyl, because I'm not noble. Okay.
Oh, you're
I'm
noble.
letting it. I'm letting it loose.
Yeah, just know, don't open a can of worms, sister. Because if I start farting, it's probably not gonna be the same result for you.
All right. What about peeing? So farting, that could be a little whatever, because
Yeah.
you got to smell the other person's
Yeah.
intestines. But what about peeing? The sound of peeing. Like, do you ever just like hold back a little or pee like on the side that has no water, just so that you don't hear, because you're like embarrassed, like, oh my god, I don't want to hear them hear me peeing.
I really don't care about that stuff.
I don't care either. But I've
Let,
heard friends
let
of
them
mine.
let them know that stream strength, son.
Oh yeah. Oh, so manly. The stream of your pee is so strong.
I mean, when you've been holding it in for a while, yeah, of course.
That could just also mean that you're young, because los viejos, their
It's like it
stream
just
weekends,
trickles
and then
down.
it's like, bloop, bloop, and you're almost like peeing down your leg. Anyways, all right. So we've talked about farts, we've talked about peeing, we talked about all that comfort. What about the conversation of marriage? Oof, this is a big one. Should we leave this for another episode? Maybe we should leave that for another episode.
Yeah, I think we should leave for another episode.
You know what? Let's just hear the starter.
The
What?
feedback. What
Yeah,
they think.
we definitely need some feedback for this, because we can make this. Actually, relationships could be many sections or episodes. Um, like expectations, that could be a one in its own. But I think this is a good starter. This is a good starter. We want to hear some feedback. We want to know what it is that you think about relationships. What are the things specifically for all the single people out there? What is it that's going on? What is this going on? I personally, going back to the conversation or the topic of education, right? If I'm trying to have a conversation with, on my date or my girlfriend or something, and they can't provide any information or sign of, hey, this person may read ever. If that doesn't happen, that's a major, like,
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
it's a wrap,
It's a wrap.
right?
Because what do you have? What are you guys gonna talk about?
Yeah.
What is there? Sex? I mean, you're not gonna be doing sex all the time. You have to talk to this person eventually. And if there's something to talk about, or they have nothing, I guess, entertaining or interesting to say, It's not
And
gonna
what?
last very long. Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah. So, and sex, I mean, sex is sex. You can have sex whenever.
That's it.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's definitely got to be things there, interest, common interest, you know, and not just traveling. Let's talk about that too. Traveling, you know, you go. So the Spanish saying is "Escobita nueva barre bien," right? So
Always.
the new broom sweeps well,
Of course.
and that's because for those of you that don't understand the uh, the saying, I guess this is the you know part of the mansplaining. Um, so the brushes or the I guess the brush part of
I
the
guess that's what
broom,
it's called. Yeah.
it starts bending, you know, or like shaping to the way that you sweep, so that it stops sweeping as well as it did when you first got it. So it's like relationships, you know, at first it's like a kid with a new toy, you know, with a new toy. Oh my God, it's so cute. Oh my God, it's so pretty. Everything.
It's
Oh
the
my God, I
best.
love you. I love you. I love you. And then the phones are never out. Cell phones are never out. We should talk about that too. Phones are never out. You know, you're kissing 20 times a day. You hold hands in the car
For real.
because it's like, well, these are the things that go wrong in other relationships. So we want to make sure and do them right in our relationship. Right. So, and again, I'm just guessing here, you know, of what happens. I really don't know. I'm not experienced in this field. You know, I have my girlfriend and I don't date or do anything, but, you know, you go over all these things and,
Disclaimer. Disclaimer.
uh,
Very important disclaimer.
yeah. They gotta do. And then, you know, little by little, you start seeing the first cell phone come out in the middle of a dinner table, you know, or in the first, you maybe in the 70-second date you go on, or after a year, you know, being together 6 months, and then the cell phone now becomes your everyday person.
Mhm.
You no longer hold hands in the car. You no longer kiss, right? A
No longer
kiss and
cute names. No
no more
longer
cute names.
make coffee for each other. And I say, did you make me coffee? No, made them for myself.
Yeah, like yeah. Again, what I want to know is what all the listeners think about this. Like, is this true or is this false? Or is it just luck of the draw? Like, what is it that, you know, we can learn about this? Um, but yeah, this is definitely a conversation we can have 5 different episodes on. And we maybe we will we will receive some feedback and then throw it in maybe episode 6. We'll do the part 2 to this, you know, parts mansplaining. Which, by the way, if any of you knew, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, if any of you have heard that term, please let us know that, yes, I've heard about it and how you heard about it.
Yeah,
Because,
let us know if this is a real thing.
yeah, like, yeah, it's on dictionary.com, but I still don't believe that this is an actual thing. Okay. Is there a woman splaining? Right? If there's a mansplaining, there should be a woman splaining. I don't know. Again, I don't know. You know, was
There
it
is
created?
actually.
There's a woman
Yeah.
splaining.
It's literally just the same thing as mansplaining, but with reverse.
Oh, so it exists.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Is it on dictionary.com?
It's on urbandictionary.com.
Okay, so then yeah, I think Urban Dictionary is some BS, but
Yeah, probably not the one we
like
should use.
Wikipedia, people come to me with facts. They're like, "Oh, these are facts. It was on Wikipedia."
Yeah, it was user submitted, bro. Somebody made that up.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So cell phones. What do you think about cell phones?
Pet peeve, bro. Can't stand it. Can't stand it. If you're on a date with me, your attention should be on me. If you're on your phone, that just means two things. Either A, I'm boring, which is, I guess, good feedback in itself. And or two, you just don't care.
But should that be communicated at that moment? Like instead of you going to your cell phone and me having to see that, because I mean, you know,
An
I
unspoken rule. I think everyone knows.
do they
Yeah, it's kind of rude.
kind of honestly what I want to do every time I see a cell phone is I want to slam it on the floor, crush it with my car, and then you know watch you cry.
That's it. That's a little extreme, but
Watch you cry because I broke your phone. Because I feel like there's so much attachment to cell phones right now that social media should not be called social media. It should be called anti-social media
yeah, I agree.
because people are forgetting how to communicate.
in person, 100%.
Yes.
And the crazy part is that people, like as humans, we need that in-person interaction. No one can live off of just social media interaction. You need to interact with people. But the
So
very
you think
thing
you
you're,
actually need it to survive?
of course, at some point, like look at the cases of depression that have increased just because of quarantine, because people are behind the screen and not actually in physical distance of a person. Like I think as people, yeah, we need that. You need that physical interaction. You need to be able to, hang out with people, go and have lunch or whatever the case may be.
You know what? We're gonna publish some stats on that. We got to do some research and see how, and I don't want to get too serious into that conversation because depression's a real thing.
Of course.
And but I would actually like to know that. I would like to know how, and we'll publish it. We won't, straight from other sources. I don't even want to get into it here, but I think it's important for people to hear these things because this is awareness, right? We need to know what are these phones doing to us. Wasn't there a show on Netflix that talked about like social media and all that? And
I'm
everybody
pretty sure there
panicked.
is.
Like I had
Yes.
friends that told me they're like, I'm never going back on Facebook. I'm never going on Instagram. I'm taking it off. They're controlling me, and blah 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 blah. And now they're not on there, and that's okay. You don't want to be on social media. That's fine. We didn't have social media 10, 15 years ago. That didn't exist. We didn't know anything about each other. We just go hang out at a house party,
That's it.
which those have gone down too, right?
Of course.
Like I remember when I was a kid, um, every weekend was family weekend. You would go work, Monday to Friday, and then on the weekends you were, at your family's house, and all the cousins would get together, the uncles. Now you only hang out with your friends.
Yeah, for real.
Rarely do you see your family, and that's not just said by me. I'm talking about like other people have told me they're like, yeah, we used to hang out so much, and now we don't. But I guess that's just the way it is,
Times are changing, I guess.
or we're letting it happen, and we're not really paying attention because we're entertained by media.
Exactly.
So in this case, we should mind our own business, right? Because that's a positive thing. It's like if
Yeah.
anyone ever tells me mind your own business, obviously if they say it in a stupid way, like they're trying me or whatever, then I'm just gonna look at them and wipe my ass at them. But technically, if somebody says, "Hey, mind your own business," that's a good thing, right? Because maybe I should be minding my own business
Of
because
course.
I'm not paying attention to it.
Yeah. Tend to, yeah, take care of your business, take care of your people, your family, your loved ones, your time. Yeah. I agree.
All right. Well, that's good. I guess we'll call it a day. I know we had a good conversation here about relationships, and hopefully we get some great feedback, so we can continue and come up with new ideas for future episodes. Because obviously we know that content is the number one thing that you need in a podcast, and if you don't have it, you ain't got the followers.
That's true.
But feel free to visit us on Instagram at what's our Instagram again? The Shit Talk Podcast.
The Shit Talk Podcast.
Facebook, Shit Talk Podcast. We have um, Apple Podcast. We have Spotify, YouTube. I mean, we're pretty much on every
We're on
platform.
Twitter. On Twitter as well.
Twitter at Shit Talk Podcast. So feel free to share with us. Visit our website, shittalkpodcast.com. Send over any ideas on episodes or things you would like to talk about, and we'll make sure and answer any questions or share, your feedback, and we greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely, 100%, guys. Let us know what you think. Obviously, this podcast is for you. It's for you guys to hear and engage, and maybe you agree with something we said, maybe you don't. Either way, we want to hear it, so let us know.
So thank you very much again, and see you in the next shit show.
Peace till next week.
Bye.